this anthem tracks. Boy, I ain't playing.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very interesting grown man shit podcast. Today, it's gonna be me just releasing this molehill that is on my back. So me just exposing or asking truths of what has happened in my past. And today I'm going to be naming names. I believe there's a verse in the Bible that says in order for you to cast out your demons, you need to call your demons by name. Not saying that these people that I'll be calling out are demons, but they are preventing me internally, not externally, from my physical, mental, and spiritual growth. So I'm going to start off with my ex-wife, Avalon Arlene Summersall. We got divorced about 2 years ago. I found out that she was having an affair with a person that that actually went to our church. First of all, I would like to say I'm sorry for whatever I did to you to make you want to do that to me. I loved you. And I would have done anything to make sure that our marriage worked. And it's a shame I had to find out, not even from your mouth, but from your 10-year-old daughter, who honestly didn't know anything about what was going on. She just answered questions. And I will always love her for that, because even in her innocence, she had the audacity to speak the truth and set me free. I just want to say to you, I believe we could have worked anything out. No matter how many arguments we had, whatever it may have been, me not giving you enough sex, I guess. But you hurt me bad. I've seen a part of me that I've never knew existed. But I also thank you because you set me free in understanding that I need to love myself harder than I love anybody else. That way I will never, ever feel this turmoil that I felt when you broke my heart into 1,000 pieces, placed it back in my heart, or placed it back in my body, and then drowned me. And to the person I thought that was a sister, Kenyatta Raynell, I believe your last name is now McKinney. I've known you for over 18 years. And in fact, I think I'm responsible for hooking you up with the man that you are married to now. What you did to me when I was going through this is astonishing. But you always did tell me, you told me the truth when you first met this woman. I'm always going to have her side. I didn't believe that because the time it is that we put in together. What we had been through those 18 plus years. Granted, back in the day, there was an incident that happened that I didn't tell you about. And you ended up finding out, and I was there. But I came clean. I apologized to you for that. And I thought that we had moved on. But for you being the one to come serve me my papers, for you to be the one to come give me the divorce papers and act like you were sorry, knowing that you and her were going out with this other man, and he was, you guys were being friends with this guy, and I was still married to this woman at the time, and you knew this. And to the man that she was cheating on me with, Charles Hamlet, man, I was so mad at you. You were going through your own thing with my newly found spiritual sister, who at the time was your fiance. When I found out that it was you, the church choir director, that was having an affair with my wife, although me and you never had a relationship. You know, I used to speak to you, not even knowing. And then for it to come out that it was you, man. I tried to do, it took everything in me not to do what I wanted to do to you. And then there was a woman in the church, your biological mother, who took me in as a son. As a son. But I couldn't get past the madness that you had caused in my heart, and she begged me to. I told her all kind of things that I wanted to do because of how you made me feel. And the only thing that she could do was say, son, it's going to be okay. I don't accept their relationship, but you got to move past this. I made that woman, that wonderful woman that treated me like a son, I made her move out of state because she couldn't be around me. I will always love that woman for being able to see past my demon, but me not being able to see it at that moment. It's funny. Our first encounter with my first encounter with Miss Hamlet was coming up to her after you guys had been, kicked out of the church, and asking her, hey, is Charles Hamlet your son? She told me, yes, he's my son. And I asked her, do you know who I am? And do you know what she said? Yes, I know who you are. And I don't approve of what my son has done to you and your family. Then she did the unthinkable. She hugged me. She hugged me and told me it was going to be okay. Your mother, you being the one causing me all this chaos, and Avalon, but your mother could see the kindness and goodness in me. And I still am mad at myself for letting my anger take over me and not being the better man that I am now. But I thank you. I thank Avalon. I thank your family, Avalon, for when you brought them together and told them that, hey, I am out, and that this new man was in, and we were not even divorced yet. I thank Angel, your youngest, for having that innocence to tell me the truth so that I could get out of it. Because if I would have found out unknowingly, I have no idea what I would have done. But I thank you because you have turned me into something better by going through that experience. Thinking about you consistently while I was hurt. What did I do wrong? How did it come to this? When the things that I did wrong could have easily been worked out, but you didn't have the patience. You didn't have the time. And to the other people that I thought would have my back through thick and thin, but turned their back on me and actually went with every word that you were saying, Avalon. To my biological parents, Paula and Gary Davis. As a biological son, to be honest with you, I never felt loved in your home. Even though you provided everything for me physically, the love that I was needing, spiritually and internally, you guys could never really provide that. And for a long time, I blamed you, but it's not your fault. And Miss Davis, I know you had me to keep Mr. Davis. That's the only reason why I was born. I know this. But I still love you. I don't know if I'll ever be able to be around you because of the energy. I don't feel like I was ever a part of the family. And you may say that is due to me. But where did I get this inclination from? It was passed on through something it is that you guys showed me. Mr. Davis, you may have been at every football game and not basketball, but track meet and everything else like that. But a lot of that was forced upon me. I never really did the things that I wanted to do. And not to say you're a great man. You truly are. You're one in a million. I mean, your other son Che, he is grown up. He is thriving. He is a father. You know, he's doing multiple businesses for the understanding that, he felt loved. That's why I was always searching for another family. I never felt loved with you guys. I never felt like I could honor you guys in any way. Both you and Mr. and Mrs. Davis. And I feel you guys were great guardians. I don't feel like you guys were great parents. And once again, this is just me telling you how I feel. You have every right to feel whatever way it is that you want to feel. But I'm telling you, because every time I tried to have this conversation with you, you always blamed it on me. And I was never, ever able to explain the way it is that I felt. But I still thank you for that. Because even in this chaotic structure that has transcended in my mind, I am becoming a better man. It hurt when I was going through my divorce that you, as my parents, never reached out to check on me when I was going through suicidal thoughts. You didn't care to. Which is why I choose not to have a relationship with you. Because only thing that you can see in me is negativity. And if that's the case, I'd rather not be anywhere near you. I can love you from afar. I wish you the best. I will not speak bad about you. I will always honor you as parents. You could have aborted me, but you chose not to. Now, for the people that helped me get over this hump, I will love you to the end of time. My brother Archie Bells. Brother, going through that horrific, tragic situation, you were a beacon. I could call on you at any time. You'd be there. You'd show up. You was more family to me than my parents ever were at that particular time. To my sister Dawn, man, you're my heart. You're my heart. We both went through this together. Your ex-fiance, Charles Hamlet, and my ex-wife, Avalon Arlene Summersall, were the ones that hooked up and were causing us turmoil. But somehow, through our tragic situation, we blossom a beautiful rose relationship. You are my sister. You are my sister. I was going to save you for last, but I'm just going to put you in here and then get to everybody else. To my auntie, Linda, my mother, my father, my everything. Auntie, you have been there for me in every way. If it wasn't for you, I don't know if I'd still be alive right now. You are my heart, my soul, my existence, Auntie. I love you. You have no idea how much I love you. For not just being there, but for helping me understand things where my parents weren't. You were there, but you have always been there. You're like this Saint Teresa of the family, Mother Teresa of the family, always trying to help people out. Yes, you will argue tooth and nail about what it is that you believe, and you will fight for what is right. You are truly a queen. You are truly the definition of what a queen is. For my pastor brother, Pastor Erskine, and his wife, Andrea, you guys were the apex of my salvation. Through church, through understanding, you brought me out of a darker place. You showed me what true family is. You embraced me. Gave me food. If I needed shelter, you would have given me shelter. To my other pastor, that's like a father to me. That is my spiritual father. Pastor Zachary Bruce. Man. To have a man who calls and checks up on his son That's not even his son. My pops didn't even do that shit. My biological father didn't even call upon me to make sure I was good. But my spiritual father, Pops, man, you have no idea what that means to me. I'm your son for life. I am your son for life. And to my other brother, Prince, man. Prince Vision. Bro, I had a lot of late night conversations. You helped me to see things in a different and spiritual way. You're a godsend, man. You're a true godsend. And to my brother from another mother, Sean Mitchell. I think we went through some horrific shit at the same time. You were going through your thing with your girl. I was going through my thing with my ex-wife. But brother, as long as I'm living, as long as I have breath in my body, you will never, ever be alone. Because when I needed you, and when I need you now, you're always there. You are a true brother in every sense of the way, every sense of the word. And there's a lot more out there that have helped me through this tragic time in my life, which is probably the hardest thing that I've ever been through, besides for not feeling the love from my parents. But even to everybody that I've mentioned, that may seem to be in a negative way, it's not. This is about me finding my own salvation. This is about me casting out my demons and moving on into a new light. This is about me taking me back and injecting who I am supposed to be and being the man that God wants me to be. And showing the people out there that it may be hard to be vulnerable, but you have to be vulnerable in order for yourself to move on. In order for you to be that beacon to others, you have to tread those rough waters. This is me treading the rough water. And to those that I mentioned to seem in a derogatory term, I have no quarrels with you. I just want you to understand where I'm coming from. And if you ever want to reach out to me and have a conversation and talk to me about what I've discussed, I have no problem with picking up that phone or even talking to you about it over the internet. But the reason why I am doing this is to show people that they need to be able to free themselves. Instead of having your mind locked down in this chain and it's not being able to be broken, you need to find an outlet. And for those brothers, that is why I created this podcast, this grown man shit, is so that you can get this shit off your chest. Flush it down that toilet and move on with your life. And know that you have brothers that want to see you succeed and not fail. I gave you the truth and opened up to you about me, or shall I say my truth. and opened up to you about me. Because in order to be a great leader, you have to do things first. And once again, I thank everybody, both the good and the bad, because there are lessons to be learned from everything. And the hardest thing for you to do, for anybody to do, I believe, is to thank yourself when you don't do those crazy, sporadic things that you want to do that will cause you to get into trouble or cause you to be in prison or maybe even cause you to be dead. Self, I thank you for having the realization of having these people to talk to, of going out of your way and trying to find some type of peace. Because if we can't love self first, then our emotions will get the better of us and we will shatter everything that God has in store for us. My purpose is to live for the people that want to listen to me. I have stories that could probably help you. There are other people that have stories that could probably help them. And I don't mean me by just me talking, but me as my presence, this podcast, and other things that I'll be doing, not just by myself, but with others. This thing about life is about growing, and the only way you can do that is with surrounding yourself by the best people you can be around. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you listening to me. If you have any questions, please feel free to hit me in the comments. This is Grown Man Shit Podcast. You guys have a blessed day. I love y'all. Peace.